Today we are going to answer a question. What does 2, 4 and 6, 8 have in common? And the answer is they both have 2 beats. So if that doesn't make any sense to you, let's see if we can explain that so that you've got the story. So 2, 4, it's really 2 crotchets in the bar. Wouldn't it be easy if we just draw a 2 and a crotchet? 2 crotchets in the bar. So there we are, 2 crotchets in the bar. All right, so that's obvious. And this is what we call simple duple, because there's only 2 beats in the bar. So how do we work with 2 beats in 2, 4? Well, that's easy. You'll know some of this stuff. So you can have 2 quavers for every beat. You can have dotted crotchet. Dotted crotchet would take up 1.5, which would have to be followed then by another half, so that adds up to 2. You can even have triplets. What is a triplet? Well, a triplet is, it has to have a little running writing 3, and a triplet is where you actually squish 3 quavers into the same time of 2 quavers. So rather than just having 2 quavers, you have 3 instead. So there's a rundown on 2, 4. But now let's have a look at 6, 8, and you'll discover it's also duple. Now, wouldn't it be easier? Whoops, I'm rubbing everything out. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if we just wrote 6 and then a quaver? Then we would all understand. All right, so 6 quavers in a bar. But of course, whenever you have 6 beats in the bar, they are grouped in 3s, right? And that's where we get 2 groups of 3, and that's where the duple comes from. It's just that the first group of 3 contains 3 beats, and the second group of 3 contains 3 beats. So at this level, this is what we call compound, and wait for it, duple. Okay, because there's 2 groups of 3. Now, to really understand the duple nature of this, in 6, 8, we use a dotted crotchet to represent one of the groups of 3. So 6, 8 is really 2 dotted crotchets, and each dotted crotchet represents a group of 3 because the beats have to be grouped in 3s, and then that's why we get 2 groups of 3, hence compound duple. So some of the divisions of this, you can have crotchet quaver. That fixes up the first group of 3, and then you can even have a dotted quaver, semi-quaver, and quaver. All right, that still adds up to 3. What you can't do is have 3 crotchets in a 6, 8, because that contradicts the 2 groups of 3. So that's illegal, right? So where's my rubber? Let's rub that out. Now, another one you can do is have duplets. What are duplets? Well, like triplets, which are 3 in the time of 2, a duplet is 2 in the time of 3. So in 6, 8, you can have 2 duplets, right? It has to have the running writing 2 above it, and the triplets have to have the running writing 3 above it. Do you notice these groups of 3 quavers up here don't have the little 3 written on it? That's because the groups of 3 is part of the time signature. So there we go. 2, 4, simple duple, and 6, 8, compound duple. So what do they have in common? They both have 2 beats.